I take a little look across the pond, and that's what we. Oh, hang on a minute. Where is it? Should be going out there. Let me just check. We go across the pond. I go across the pond on a Wednesday. We have a little chat to people, whether it be actors, there be emerging artists, singers, whatever. We go all over the place. Let's just. Yeah, we should be going out. It's just not appearing on my feed anyway. So let's we'll crack on and we'll be recording it anyway, so it won't matter. So anyway, do you want to introduce yourself to everyone? Thanks for coming on my little show.
Thank you so much for having me. I'm so grateful. What's going on, everybody? It's your boy Andre Bellos, and I'm so excited to be in London.
Oh yeah, we are as well. Apart from being in lockdown. Oh, it's unbelievable, isn't it? It's unbelievable the stuff that's going on in a minute. But yeah, it's great to have you on. Yes, we are going out there. We're fine. We're rocking. So it's great to have you on the show because I've had all sorts of people. I've had actors. Last week I interviewed, which was really off the wall for me, a gospel singers, which was just crazy for me, and they were great. Loads of energy from that. So. Obviously, you've done lots of stuff in the States, Chicago Justice, and you've been in one or two other films and programs, and you're all over the place. Anyway, I've seen you in quite a few things and online. Would you like to tell us what you've been in and what you've been doing? Because I think it's good to let everyone at this end know what you're doing that end. That makes sense.
Yeah, sure. Thank you for the opportunity. So again, it's such an honor to be on the show. I've done, first of all, I'm just a regular guy out here living his dreams. I've participated in a few television shows here and there, such as Shameless and Empire and Chicago Justice. And I've also done a few films here and there, like The Dilemma and Chirac, just to name a few. And, I'm just so grateful for it. I came up in a blue collar family in Chicago, and I always had the dream. I don't know if I always had the dream to be an actor, but business in some capacity. Yeah. And I never thought it would happen because I thought, well, you live in the Midwest. Everybody's saying you got to go to Los Angeles, and the prospects of you being able to afford a lifestyle in LA doesn't really, seem promising. So it was always just a dream until maybe about 10 years ago, we had this huge explosion of television and film work come to the Midwest. And, I really tried my best to take advantage of that.
Yeah, exactly. And it's interesting what you've said there because it's come over quite a few times with people, not just with people that are in film or that I've interviewed recently, that they always had that dream, didn't know whether they were going to get there and didn't know whether it happened, but always had that dream to get there. And I think it's a good message for everyone that you need to think like that. You need to know where you want to go, or if you know where you want to go, just keep believing in it. Because you don't know where that break's going to come from, but it's great that. Does that make sense? The same themes coming through over and over. I wanted to do this, and I can't believe I'm doing this, but that's what you've wanted to do, and the universe has provided it for you, which is fantastic. And I think it's a good message for everybody out there. That really.
Yeah, I couldn't agree more, and I just think for everybody out there listening, no one really knows what you're capable of except for you. And life is about creating yourself. You have to go out there and get it.
Yeah, pretty much the same here. We decided to do what we're doing, and a bit of a crazy idea. And why you're doing that, because we do radio, we do video, we do all sorts of things. But radio's dead. No one listens to the radio anymore. Why are you doing that? It's a waste of time. But we believed in what we're doing and why we're doing it, and right. It took us 3 years to get to where we are now, and then the last 3 years has been tough, but now things are starting to evolve, and it's starting to come, and I'm looking forward to being an overnight success in about 5 more years time, and then
that's right. That's right.
Yeah, it's brilliant. So what's your sort of, because obviously you've been in a few different things. What generally are you typecasted as a particular actor or a particular way of performing?
You know what? So far in my career, I And I have a long way to go, but I'm just getting started.
Yeah.
But so far, you know what? I think I've been pretty lucky. I've really been blessed to been able to play a nice variety of roles. I've played, a singer. I've played a state attorney investigator. I've played a real life person, just to name a few roles. And I'm really grateful for that. There was a small period in my career earlier on where I felt like I was being typecasted as I don't know, maybe like a security guard type.
Yeah.
Um, but you know what? I'm grateful for every single opportunity. Again, just coming from Chicago, but then even going a little bit deeper than that, and my hometown of Des Plaines, and coming out of a small town of Illinois, we don't have any kind of stuff going on like that, where
Mm.
I'm from. So it's a miracle.
Yeah, it is interesting because there was something I was listening to, and it was over here in Wales. There's a lot of Welsh singers, and a lot of choirs and male voice singers. And then someone was saying, "Oh, why is there so many in Wales?" And he just said, "There's the opportunities. There's the choirs because it's a thing. It's virtually every street corner. There's a choir, so they all, I suppose it's a bit like the gospel singers, isn't it? That's where they go, and it's acceptable. It's not seen as being out different. It's the norm. So you're right. If there's not many opportunities, and it's not LA, or it's not wherever those sort of roles are, then it's quite difficult to progress. So how did you get from that state to actually appearing on things? How did you actually get a break?
I actually started out as an extra, and randomly I was on set one day as background, and I got picked out of the background to deliver a line. It was
All right.
totally out of the blue, and I wasn't expecting it. And that was on NBC's Chicago Justice. And I really credit them in many ways for giving me my big break, or a break, and for even maybe discovering me, or being one of those groups of people that has discovered me along my journey. So I'm really grateful for that, and I think that's another important message. You have to show up, and
Mm.
you have to take it seriously. You have to go into work for what you eventually want to do, not necessarily what you're doing that particular day. And I always went to set and I took it seriously. And to me, I didn't feel less than being an
Mm.
extra. I actually felt like I was a part of the entertainment business in a
Yeah.
way. And I felt that I was included in something. And, in my own mind, I was like, oh, today's a big day for me, but maybe I was just going to be deep background, maybe like one out of 150. But for me, it was the first day of my dream job. And that's how I always looked at it.
That is a brilliant message, because I think all too often now we a lot of people expect that, I joked about being overnight success in another 5 years, is people expect, and I think it's just the culture that we're in, and we see so many things on TV that people
That's right.
expect that they just, oh, I want to be, I don't know, I hear it all the time because I do stuff in schools as well. I want to be a vlogger. I want to be a vlogger. I'm going to be a vlogger when I leave school. And say, you're vlogging now. You actually, are you doing that? No, but that's what I'm going to do. Well, you need to be doing that. And that doesn't just happen overnight. It just doesn't come to you. Oh, I want to do that. You've got to do it. And I think a lot of people don't see that. What you did is turning up. It might even, if you want to be in the music industry, you turn up and become some of the people that become really famous. I think Eminem start off doing something in somewhere. Anyway, there's some stories where they've turned up with the brew boy. They were making drinks and then because they're in that environment, they ended up being in.
That's right.
It's a business you want to be in. I think that's a brilliant lesson. Brilliant lesson. And you're right. It doesn't matter whether you're the leading star or you're an extra at the back. For me, if I was an extra, I know exactly what you mean. Because if someone said to me, "Do you want to be an extra tomorrow in the show that's going to be on?" I'd be. Grab me coat, I'm coming. You know what I mean? To me, that'd be amazing, wouldn't it? Do you know what I mean? It's you're that step closer to it. You're on screen, and people. That's where people are going to see you, aren't they? They're not going to see you otherwise. So
That and That's exactly how I looked at it. And I just came to set every day and I just learned and I sat and I listened to the producers and directors talk to one another and I just learned and learned and learned and learned. And I
Mm.
thought, you know what? This is where you're getting your training. And that's how I looked at it.
Yeah, definitely. So you've done that. So you've been in a few episodes of Chicago Justice, which is great. It's fantastic. So what you're looking to do in the future? What's your dream? What's your aim going forward? What are you looking for at the minute?
Of course my dream has always been to be a part of Hollywood. But recently I've discovered that I have another dream that may be just as big, if not bigger. And that is, to really pursue my humanitarian work and my philanthropy. I started an initiative independently in 2017 called Do the Right Thing. Pretty simple message, just traveling state to state in the Midwest, volunteering at different not-for-profits, letting people know it's cool to donate your time. And
Mm.
especially right now in a pandemic, there's a shortage of volunteers. So we definitely need everybody and all hands on deck.
Yeah.
But my goal with that is to do something called 50 States, 50 Dates, where I want to volunteer in each state at least once. We've done some states, but we're not at 50 just yet. And I want to hit that marker or milestone, if you will, before I take my initiative overseas. And I really would like to establish myself as as a world renowned philanthropist. It's a big dream,
Mm.
but that's been in my mind.
I like that. That is beautiful, and because I've seen some of you. There's some past stuff that I've seen about suicide and bullying, and I've seen. So I presume that's where that's come from. That sort of thing that you want to do now. It's about making a difference, and I do like that. I speak for a charity in the UK, and it goes going into schools, and it's a lot of the time it's in areas. If you come from a really good background and really affluent area, the chances of you be succeeding are quite high. If you come from a lower background or a poorer area, your chances of succeeding are quite low, aren't they? And there's not the opportunity. A bit like you were saying before, and so I go and speak in schools because I come from a normal background and I've done loads of things in my life, and I don't know what it is. I don't get paid a single penny for doing it, but just to come out of that room afterwards is just, I don't know. If you've not done it, you can't explain to anyone. So I fully get what you're trying to do, and hats off for you for doing it as well, because we need more people like that in the world to make a difference.
Yes, we do. We do. We need less successful people and more compassionate people. That's all.
It's wonderful, isn't it? And because the other thing as well with money, and a lot of people look at the rich, the mega rich, and they do things and question why they're doing it, or why they're after some ulterior motive. But the other thing is, if you as an individual can become successful, and as in very financially successful, you can actually put more back and do more good,
That's right.
which is a wonderful thing to do. And using that money for good, yes, to have a good. Because if you're going to travel to 50 states, that involves money. That you can't
Yes,
just.
it
You
does.
might be giving your time up for free, but you've got to put fuel in the vehicle or fly or whatever you're doing. That is, or well, you're not even earning any money while you're doing that. So there's got to be something that
Yep.
finances that project. And I wish you all the success for that. It sounds very, very,
Appreciate that.
very, 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 very interesting. No, it's good. We do need it because well, whatever. We could talk all day about it because I think it's crucial. I think we've lost. We've lost a lot of that in society, especially in the West, where it's everyone's climbing to get higher and higher up the ladder or more successful, and just ignoring everyone that's behind them. And I think we need to flip it on its head. So yeah, good. Well
That's
done.
right.
Well done. So
Thank
what we
you.
need, what we need is someone to put you in a starring role somewhere, so you can be even more successful.
Yes, I'm available.
So this project then, because obviously talking about that a bit, is that all going to be videoed? I'm presuming you're gonna document that video wise.
Yeah, I document a lot of my life. I try to keep some things for myself, but I definitely think this will be one of the things that we document, you know. And I actually in 2018 I filmed a documentary called Almost Famous, and
Yeah.
we released it on Comcast in 2019. And we've been playing around with the idea recently of doing a part two of that, and maybe focusing on my family a little bit if they would be interested in that sort of thing. We'll definitely see how it goes, but that will definitely be documented somehow. And right off the top of my head, I can think, you know, just social media, because that's the outlet
Yeah.
right now. But I might want to include it in a part two of a documentary that we might do.
Excellent, because you actually recorded a track for that, didn't you? Almost Famous. You did a bit of a rap type skit
I
for
I
that.
did. I did. I had a I had an interesting short-lived music career,
Right.
to put it nicely. But I did. I
What?
wrote a song a few years ago called Almost Famous,
Yeah.
and it served as a theme song and the name for the documentary we did a few years later.
Yeah,
So
I've watched it. I've watched that. Yeah, I discovered
thank
that.
you.
So yeah.
Thank
So,
you.
but you're also have you done modelling as well?
You know what? I've done a little bit of modeling. I actually started out as a model when I was a
Mm.
kid, but you know what? You know, that was a bit short-lived too, because as I, you know, grew into an adult, I, you know, didn't shoot up to 6 feet, and I wasn't super, super skinny. So I had to reorganize my dream. And it's so funny how you never really lose any opportunities. They just always come at the right time, because now in my career I'm having the opportunity to do print modeling and things of that nature. So yeah, it's just funny how it works. So I've done a little bit of modeling,
Yeah.
and I'm pretty grateful for it, just because you know, I know what I know what the models are looking like, you know. And I don't know that I fall into that category,
Yeah.
but I do know that I have something to offer, and I'm grateful that's being seen and received.
Yeah, because I've seen some images of you on various things, and that's why I asked you, because I think I don't think you look good. You look good in some of the
Thank
poses
you.
that you've got, and I thought I must have done some modeling as well, because to me you look good in some of the, you know, in some of the things I've seen you in. And I don't know, there's one that you won like in front of some banner with a brown, you know, like a brown type suit on. And I thought, oh,
Yeah.
must have done some modelling. Got to have done some modelling. And I don't even see why we have to be 6'2" and all that sort of thing. We need people to be, you know what I mean, models. It's bonkers, isn't it? Do you know what I mean? They've got to have this perfect size, height, and it doesn't make sense, does it? But yeah, you'll change that, I think.
You know what? You saying that like humbles me, because I remember growing up and hanging out in the magazine aisle at Walgreens or Walmart, and like looking through the magazines of like Vogue or Vanity Fair, and like wanting to look like that one day, and wanting to be in that magazine one day, and you know, wanting to look like a movie star. So
Yeah.
it goes beyond the superficial level of the looks, because it does have a deeper symbolism. But you know, it's humbling to think that I could have the power one day
Mm.
change, um, to change something that's, you know, very societal and really deep rooted. That you can't be on television if you don't look a certain way, or be in a magazine if you're not this height.
Yeah.
So that's pretty cool. So
Yeah,
thank you.
it's wrong, isn't it? I mean, I've not got the best teeth in the world. They've always been the same. Do you know what I mean? So in the States, I'd be like a leopard. They'd shove me to one side. We can't have him on
No,
anything.
you wouldn't.
Is
No, you wouldn't, because my teeth are crooked too, and
no,
nobody
yeah, but the
cares.
white, mine are almost yellow, but they've always been that colour since being about 4 years old. They've always been the same. So any photographs when I was a kid were all like that. They were all smiles, no teeth, no teeth.
Oh, come on.
So there
You're
you
a
go.
good looking man. Don't do that.
Oh, thank you. Appreciate that. It's
No.
yeah. Well, I make up with my comedy value. That's what I do.
That's right.
Go straight past it. Ignore me teeth. Just laugh.
That's right. That's
that's,
right.
that's what
That's
we do.
right.
But yeah, at the end of the day, that's what I'm here to do. I'm just here to entertain people and make them smile. And if I can do that, then I've done my job. So yeah,
That's right.
it sounds like you've got a lot on your plates. Then your plate with that project. It's,
Well, you know what? I love to be busy.
mm,
I don't like to not be busy. And when I'm working on something, I really go all the way. And sometimes I get a little obsessive
yeah,
and I get a little too focused. So I'm finding my balance, but I'm grateful to be doing something that is my passion. So rarely um, do people get to do what they love to do.
yeah, I think you're right. I think you're right, and I think yeah, well, I wanted to do what I'm doing now when I was 11, and ended up doing corporate world and all sorts of stuff for
Oh
years.
yeah.
So to then actually be sat in here doing this and all the things that I've done, and I go, what is this? How's this happening? Do you know what I mean? It's crazy. It's crazy, and it's lovely. If anyone out there, anytime, whenever I'm doing anything, do what you want to do and do what makes you happy rather than just doing it for if you're just doing it for the money, things for the money, it's not gonna fulfill you, and you'll just give up at the first hurdle because the money's not there, so you'll give up. It's nothing. It's not driving you forward. It needs to be something in here that's pushing you, and pushing you all the time. And you're right. Same again. Loads of people I speak to that. That work ethic is there. It's like I've got to carry on. I've got to keep doing it. And the most successful people I've spoken to, have always had that work ethic. It's like always hungry and always want to improve, which is great. It's
That's
great.
right. It's all about progression. If you stand on a bridge long enough, it's bound to cave in. And it's all about legacy. Are you leaving a legacy behind and what is it? So,
Mm, yeah, exactly. Yeah, it's true. All true. We're singing off the same hymn sheet. So because we're still in lockdown at the minute. So your project to go from state to state, are you still able to do that, or are you still restricted?
yeah, so we still have some restrictions. Not all of them. Some have been lifted. But we're still, I would say we're still in there pretty heavy. I would say we're still in there probably about 75%, maybe a little bit less. And nobody get upset with me if my numbers are skewered. I've been trying not to watch the news lately,
Me neither.
so I'm not as stressed. But you know what? It feels like a new chapter,
Yeah,
and I think I was saying this the other day in an interview. Um, I think the world is searching for hope right now, and I think we're gonna get it.
yeah, yeah. I think there'll be a lot of. I imagine people should. Hopefully, it's not short lived. Will remember this period in time and view things a lot different and appreciate things a lot more, like travel. Because everyone's wants to go abroad or wants to go to Europe, or we've had a couple of things cancelled, and it's just the simple things in life that we can't, especially here, can't do at the minute. We're not supposed to do anything apart from go to the shops for essentials or go to work. That's it. I'm hoping that people remember this and value the time that they've got, all the things that they can experience, and hopefully it
Yeah.
makes it a bit better. I don't know, but it's been a crazy time for everyone across the planet. And we're all been connected by, haven't we? Everyone across the planet has been connected by this one thing, which is I don't think it's ever happened before. It's very interesting, to bring everyone together. So how you got? So you're looking? Have you got a charity? Did you say had a charity set up for what you're doing, or is it self funded at the minute?
You know what? As of right now, it's just an independent initiative. I get so flattered when people refer to it as a charity. One day down the line, my goal would be to turn it into an LLC. But
Yeah, yeah,
right now, I'm having a really good time of just creating it as I go. And as you mentioned, as it gets bigger and we get some more funding, we're going to take those necessary next steps. But I'm grateful that it's been so well received. And again, when people refer to it as a charity, it's so flattering.
Yeah, well, it should be because that's the sort of thing it should be, and people should get
Thank
behind you, and,
you.
hopefully they will. And I know you've been doing lots of interviews, and you're getting yourself out there, which is fantastic. Because I've been looking, there's another interview, he's done another interview there, and it's great. And that's what you need. You need to put yourself out there because you never know who's watching something. Someone might come across it and go, well, I like that, I want to get on board with that, or yeah, I'm doing a new project, a new film. So you've just got to keep going to places, haven't you? You've got to keep getting out there, which is really important. Really important.
That's right.
So you're all over social media, aren't you? Instagram. It's all under your name as well, isn't it? You've
Well,
social...
listen, I never got into it to be anything on social media. I mean, I growing up, we didn't have social media at that time and didn't even know what it was. But boy, am I grateful for it.
Yeah. Well,
You
especially
know,
now.
oh man, boy, am I grateful for it. Sometimes I wonder if I even would have a career if it weren't for the internet. And it really came on the dawn of the millennium, and I was young, and I thought, God, how cool is America Online? And you've got mail. And
Yeah.
I never thought that when I was a kid, if you had told me that I would be anything to the like of a social media personality or a social media sensation, and I think it's even corny to think of myself like that. I wouldn't have believed you, and I probably would have been like, "What is that?" or "What's an influencer?" But the influencers are the new movie stars, and I can't say that I'm upset with it because it's giving people such as myself who are unknown to the public opportunities that we would have never normally had in our wildest dreams. I mean, we have so many up and comers that are really ruling the world on Facebook and Instagram and Twitter and TikTok. And it's quite fun to see.
Yeah, it is because you're right, and it's so people might not. Some of the shows that you might be in the States, we might not get over here, but someone might come
Right.
across you on Instagram, and so
That's
you're right.
right.
For us, you've got something like 100. I think you've got about 80,000, 100,000 followers on Instagram, which is it's nuts. It's crazy, really. And 100,000 people following one person. I mean, there's
It is crazy, right?
it's
I
nuts.
don't
I mean,
know.
I interviewed someone the other week. She's got 1.7 million on TikTok, and I'm like, 1.7 million. That's people watching you. Well, you're right. The influencers now are influencers and have got a lot of. I interviewed someone the other week. She'd been on a reality TV show, and I said she did something about being upset and about because she's very glamorous. She looks lovely, and everyone sees this wonderful critiqued image or whatever how you want to say it. I use the wrong word sometimes because I'm dyslexic, but they all see this manufactured look at me, aren't I lovely? And she had one
Right.
where she was upset and crying in it. And I've sent her a message and said, I'm so glad you've done that because there's a lot of young girls watching you. You're an influencer, whether you like it or not. You've got 20 odd thousand followers, 30,000 followers. And for you to be human occasionally like that and show your emotions is good because there's going to be girls and same for boys, frustrated, going, they've got a perfect life, they're never upset. Why am I? Why? And so I think it's really important the value or the influence people have on social media nowadays, and we need to see the reality of people, not just what we think we should be seeing. So it's important.
I couldn't agree more. It's all about being your authentic self. You never know who you could be helping out there, and it's so important to have the courage to tell your story when you're ready. Because you know what? There's other people who are going through the exact same thing, and I know for me growing up, there were people that I idolized that had gone through things and came out the other end. And that inspired me to keep going. And if I could do that for someone else, then that's my duty.
Exactly, and it's good. But you're right. We wouldn't have been doing this. You was talking about you've been letting, and I was chuckling there because my mum sent me a photograph yesterday, and it's me sat on a tricycle in the late '60s, early '70s, black and white.
Wow, cool.
And I sent it to my son today, and he's 18, so he's 19. He's not known anything but the internet. And I said, we didn't have the telephone in the house till I was about 8, 9 year old. There were 3 channels on the television, black and white. If you were lucky, if you ever look, now you know what I mean. It's like, and I sit here now sometimes and think, I, all this it's phenomenal. We live in an age now where so much is possible, that you can go from obscurity to be sat in the middle of nowhere, and if you've got access to one of these and the internet, then and you're entertained. You got to be entertained. Not everyone can be or should be an influencer, and they can't be. Not everyone is
Yeah.
entertained, are they? Some people, you know, let's be honest, quite boring. But do you know what I mean? You've got to have something for people to gravitate. You must have something to get people to follow you. So you from that, I would say to anyone that starts to get a lot of followers, then you're doing something right, because 7,500,000 people are following you. Then you're not doing too bad, are you? Not doing too bad.
Yeah, well, I appreciate that. I'm very grateful. That I've been, that I've been able to cut through. There's a lot of people out there, but I'm grateful to have my seat at the table, and I just want to do the right thing with my platform. I've made mistakes, and I think, for me, it's all about impact and messaging. And I just want to make sure I'm always being responsible with the platform that I have. I'm human and I make mistakes.
Yeah.
But I'm always going to try my best to not make the same mistake twice. And, that's a message that I also want to share with other people. It's a hard message, but it's definitely a necessary one. Don't try your best to not make mistakes, because that's how I was. I'm a perfectionist and I'm obsessed with perfection. But unfortunately, I had to learn a hard lesson that there's no such thing. You're going to make mistakes, and that's okay. But you have to try your best to not make the same mistake twice.
Yeah.
And that's really what it comes down to. And that's in any industry. You find out that when you start working, it's a small world. It's not quite as big as it seemed when you are a child. And everybody knows everybody, and everybody's connected somehow. So you just have to try your best to be responsible. And that's what I'm trying to do.
No, I appreciate that. No, you're right. You're absolutely bang on. And I think also when people want to be perfection, or they don't want to make mistakes, they end up being very restrictive in what they do, because I can't do this or I can't do that, because that might be seen as wrong. And I think it's stifling. I think people
Yeah.
need to learn mistakes, don't they? When a baby starts to learn to walk, it falls over several times and then learns to walk. It's making mistakes. If he didn't, if he just sat there going, I fell over once, I'm not going to try that again, then no one would ever walk, would they? So you have got, I think people we beat ourselves up to, we are human and should be allowed to make mistakes. And you're right, as long as it's not crazy and you keep doing the same thing over and over again. Some people get away with it, but generally, no, most people don't. Most people don't. I like to do these because I like to do them as like just two people getting to know each other, and that's what it is. I'm getting to know you, and you're getting to know us, and we're all getting to know you. So, but is anything I've not asked you, or is there something you wanted to talk about? Because I've sort of we've gone down one sort of avenue, haven't we? About
you. I appreciate it. I'm grateful for you sharing the platform. And I think if there's anything I would want to say to your listeners, especially the young boys and girls out there, is that follow your dreams. I said this earlier in the interview, and I'd like to say it again. The truth is, no one knows what you're capable of. Only you know what you're capable of. And don't let anybody ever make you feel that it's too late to fulfill your destiny. So thank you so much.
Excellent. I was just checking as well. That's wonderful. Tell you what, I've really appreciated you spending the time with us and affording me your time, because time is the only thing that we've got on this planet that I think is of any value, because
you ain't kidding.
That's all you've got. We will never live that half an hour ever again, and it's a once in a lifetime thing. But
well spent.
It was, and I've loved to get to know you, and I'm really looking forward to seeing your journey. Now following you on the old Instagram and what have you, and I'd love to know going forward through Yvette. Come back again anytime. Send me
Oh,
messages anytime you want. Tell us.
God bless you.
I'd love to see some little snippets from your charity things or anything you're doing. So don't be afraid of. Don't be a stranger. That's all I'm saying to you. Don't be a stranger.
I hope you know what you're doing with by saying that.
Hey, I'm telling you, I always say to everyone, you can contact me anytime. If I'm busy and I don't answer it, it's because I'm doing something. But
That's right.
for me,
Thank you.
I always connect with people. I've connected with people for years, and for no other reason that I like them or I want to know a bit about them, and that's it. And you're one of those people. I think you're a great guy, and I want to know what's going on
Wow.
in your life going forward. So thank you.
I'm grateful for that. That means a lot. Thanks so much.
So
God bless you.
before we go, where can people find you? Where's the best place to search for you and get hold of you?
So I'm super excited. You guys can check me out on my brand new website.
Oh.
It's super easy to find. Just one word, my name, andrebellos.com. Please follow me on all social networking sites. I will follow you back.
Oh.
And once again, I'm so grateful to be on this platform with you. It's a true honor.
Well, thank you very much, and we're going to do it again.